I'm Trey Brooks. I'm Haley Brooks' father. Going to try my best to get through all this. There's a lot here. Madam Mayor, city members, I stand before you a broken father, still coping with the fact that I need to stand before you. On November 19, 2022, our family got up early, decided to start one of the biggest stretches of our lives as a family of 5, marked by many celebrations, the first of which was Haley's first time performing the Raleigh Christmas Parade. But what was excitement quickly turned into what was not only the worst day of myself, my wife, and our 2 remaining earthly children's life, not only the worst day of many of the family and friends' lives, but was the worst day for many of the children, grown-up participants, parade observers, volunteers, and first responders' lives. Each day, my wife and I, by the strength of God, get out of bed and fight to give our 2 children as much of a normal life as we can, while trying to carry on Haley's legacy and seeking some kind of justice for all those hurt by her loss. We want to make sure the possibility of anything like this happening again is as limited as possible. The strength of God comes in the form of family, friends, members of our church, our kids' school, members from our local community, the Raleigh community, from strangers as far away as New Zealand who reached out about how they were devastated by the events that day. We have built relationships with people that were there that day that were gracious enough to reach out through their own traumas to check on us and have become like family to us. Family, friends, and strangers don Shine Like Haley shirts, write it on their cars, and try to actually live out the spirit of Haley in their day-to-day life. So our spirit is carried on, and we know that we aren't alone in this journey. Others have reached out as how Haley can be honored in this year's parade. We're so thankful for everyone trying to honor her, but we find the last question difficult to answer, and I'll tell you why. See, our family has been very troubled with the information we have learned through the city council over the last month. We were troubled to learn that the city denied the permit for this year's parade rather than enacting change that would have put safety measures that have substance in place and allow the parade to go on. We were hurt and offended when you, Mayor Baldwin, pointed to our family as a cause for the parade being canceled. The city's official statement, as well as your statement, made the claim that the parade was being canceled to honor Haley out of respect for the family. However, neither you nor anyone from the city has ever bothered to contact us following the tragic death of our daughter to ask whether we would consider it an honor for the city to cancel this year's parade. Had you contacted us, you would have heard from us that the best way to honor Haley's memory would have been for the city to conduct a thorough and transparent investigation into what went wrong. You would have learned that our greatest wish would be for the city and the organizations involved with this parade to enact common sense protections that should have been in place last year. You would have learned that folks from other communities have reached out to our family to ask how they could honor Haley and what they could do to make their parade safer. But what did the city of Raleigh do? It appears that 11 months after Haley's death, you have done absolutely nothing. No reports performed and shared with the family and the public. No outside consultants were retained to advise the city on how to ensure this never happens again. No public meetings or substantive discussions on ways to make the Christmas parade and all public city events safer for the public. No action at all, just lip service. And instead of doing what it takes to keep the children of this community safe, you simply denied the permit and canceled the parade. And then you tried to point to my family as a cause of the cancellation, which could not be further from the truth. How could you or the city council, and I acknowledge that some of you did not know what was happening, pretend to cancel the parade in Haley's honor? Particularly when not a single person, not you, Madam Mayor, a member of this council, or the city staff ever reached out to our family to ask us whether canceling the parade would honor us. Since you did not reach out, I'm here to tell you what would honor Haley, and that would be to immediately enact comprehensive safety measures, as well as procedures to make sure that they're being adhered to ensure the parade can be held safely. And what about the parents and children that witnessed this horrible tragedy Has the city reached out to those families or provided healing opportunities? What has the city done to ensure that its parades will not inflict this kind of pain in the future for parents and children? The best I can tell, the city rolled on with 2 more parades this year, but did nothing of substance to ensure the safety of the community. Thank God no other children were hurt or killed. In the minutes from 12/6/2022, Council Member Patton asked that staff, and I quote, the staff share any lessons learned following the tragedy at the Raleigh Christmas Parade. I can't say for a fact whether there were any responses provided, but the minutes do not indicate any. Has the city council followed up on these lessons? Why haven't these lessons been shared with the community? Based on my review of the City Council's minutes, it looks like it wasn't until September 19th, ironically 10 months from the day of the event, after canceling the 2023 Christmas parade, that the parade was discussed again. At this meeting, Jennifer Martin of the Greater Raleigh Merchants Association and others spoke about the impact of the parade to the community, and Ms. Martin spoke to the safety measures Shop Local intended to implement. I can't speak to the guidelines derived by Shop Local, other than I would have hoped they would have put more thought into the age of the driver, that they employed outside specialists to develop those standards, and they not only created standards, but have developed procedures to make sure the standards are strictly followed. There are a couple key points I want the council to understand. First, the NTSB identified the dangers associated with parades in 2013 and passed down to the League of Cities and Counties, which was shared with their constituents, a series of common sense safety protocols that need to be employed to keep the community safe. Second, the city and its partners in this parade chose to operate with no safety standards and not only put the community at risk. The capital city of the great state of North Carolina, who should be setting the standards for all cities across the state, intentionally turned a blind eye to safety and allowed the parade to be operated in a manner that led to a predictable consequence, Haley's death. Billed as the largest parade between Washington, D.C. and Atlanta, the community whose children participate in or otherwise bring their children to experience the parade expect a level of safety. The city worked with the parade organizers to create the illusion of a safe, family-friendly event. However, we have since learned the city views their role as collecting a permit fee and the tax revenue dollars which the event generated. 4, the city has taken zero responsibility for its role in the tragedy and has buried its head in the sand. While other cities and towns made safety a priority, hired safety consultants to come in, many implementing changes in the matter of a couple of weeks. Many of those towns didn't stop there, but spent months and money preparing to make this year's parade even safer, establishing not only protocols, but ways to make sure that they are being followed. Yet here we are, instead of working to make a change, putting in the time and employing those with the know-how to make it safer, you decide to cancel it without many people within the city government even expecting. Although there are many parties culpable for the gross negligence which led to the loss of my daughter's life, I'm here to ask you to do your part to ensure common sense safety measures are enacted and enforced to protect our children. Make sure float drivers are old enough, at least 25 years old, have a safe driving record, and have hauling and training and experience. Make sure vehicles and floats have basic safety measures like brakes with appropriate fail-safes. Make sure vehicles and floats have passed safety inspections and are registered to be on the road. These and a number of other basic safety measures are common sense. The families and this community were lulled into believing that the city was already taking these basic steps to ensure the events are safe. Do it. Do it now. Don't make excuses. Don't blame the potential for state legislation. Don't do the minimum. Aim higher. Do better. This is the capital city. And please don't blame our family for canceling the Christmas parade. You had 11 months to ensure that this wonderful Raleigh tradition can go on with basic safety measures in place. You have done nothing so far, but it is not too late, particularly when the well-being of our children is at stake. This is how Haley and our family could be honored.
Thank you.